to go back today, and I will go back to that, I feel confident. I was again preaching 2 weeks ago on Victory Now. I preached here 2 weeks ago, and then again last Sunday on that. And I thought I would go back to that today. But today being Father's Day, God has directed me a different direction. And I want to mind the Lord. I want you to turn to 1 Samuel chapter 13. And then we'll pick through that and go ahead and find Acts chapter 13 while you're at it. Before the coronavirus hit, I was preaching on something here that was shut down due to the virus. I left it. I never felt like I was done with it back then. And I didn't want to move with God and go back to it until this morning. And it was preaching on two souls in spiritual conflict. We were studying on Saul and on David. And comparing the Bible, oftentimes in the Scriptures, God sets two people side by side that we might make comparisons and contrasts in their life and learn from both their opportunities, their experiences, their failures, and their obedient acts, learn what God does in their lives. And so you see those two characters sit side by side in the life of Saul and that of David. And we preached for several weeks on some things about Saul and compared it with David. And then all of a sudden we dropped it because of the coronavirus. Now I want to go back today and look at something about David based on the fact that today is Father's Day. And we'll recognize the fathers at the conclusion of the service. But I want to just talk about some things about being a man after God's own heart. Being a man after God's own heart. One of the most amazing things about this to me is that God says this about David. I sought me a man. And he sought him a man when David was just a boy. God called David a man when he was just a boy. And so a man has nothing to do with size, nor stature, nor age. But a man is somebody who resembles the Lord. God created man in his own likeness, and the likeness of man and likeness of God created he him, male and female created he them, the Bible said. 1 Samuel chapter 13. I may not be real preaching today. I just want to walk through some of this and let the Lord speak to our heart. 1 Samuel chapter 13. And look, if you will, please, in verse 13. And Samuel said to Saul, Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee. For now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart. And the Lord hath commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee. Now, if you jump to chapter number 15, please. Chapter number 15. And you know the story here in chapter 15. We've preached through chapter 15 in the days gone by. In chapter 15, in verse number 28, look at verse 26. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel. And as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle, and it rent. And Samuel said unto him, The Lord hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, Notice what God says about David. And had given it to a neighbor of thine that is better than thou. Now, if I understand anything of that, God does compare men with men. And he looks at one and he says there's something better about that one than there is about the other. Would you agree with that? Yeah. Well, it's awful quiet this morning. Yeah. Look, if you will, please, in Acts chapter. Look first in 1 Chronicles 28. Going over in your Bible, go through Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, then you come to 1 Chronicles chapter 28. We'll get there in a minute, just be patient with it. 1 Chronicles 28. Look what David is talking here in 1 Chronicles 28. And look, if you will, in verse number 4. 1 Chronicles 28, 4. David said, Howbeit, the Lord God of Israel chose me before all the house of my father to be king over Israel forever. For he hath chosen Judah to be the ruler, and of the house of Judah the house of my father. And among the sons of my father, he, that is the Lord God, he liked me. David said, God liked me to make me king over all Israel. Look, if you will, now in Acts chapter 13. We read this verse, but I want to read it this morning. Again, I don't feel that preachy spirit the way I usually do. We're going to try here. Acts 13 and 22. Acts 13 and 22. Acts 13 and 22. And when he had removed him, that is Saul, he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he, that is God, gave testimony. This is God's testimony. This is God testifying about David. And said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart. And that's a statement of God saying somebody. Nobody can say that statement but God, which shall fulfill all my will. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you for the good time of gathering together today. Yes. And Lord, I sense a great need. You know my weakness and my wickedness. You know the sorrows and downfalls of our human heart. And I pray, God, that you would strengthen us and enable us, God, this morning to preach in such a way as to bring glory and honor to you. Yes, yes. Lord, I need you. This people need to hear a word from you. So, Lord, I pray that you would lead us into that path that only, God, you can take us in. Please, God, I pray for the power of God. I ask you for strength and spiritual understanding and enlightenment, God, to speak this morning that which brings glory to you. Please help us, God, I pray. Please help us all. Lord, give us ears to hear, God, that we may have a heart that's attentive to your word, and a soul, God, that's desirous for that that's from you. We love you and praise you for all things. In Jesus' name, amen. And amen. Thank you. You can be seated. I want to talk to you a minute this morning. I want you to give me a little attention. I want to be a little scattered in different directions. But I want to talk to you a minute on why God liked David and found him to be a man after his own heart. I said a while ago that God puts characters in the Bible side by side to magnify the characters and the conduct of each. God put Cain and Abel side by side to magnify and contrast and compare their characters. And God put Ishmael and Isaac side by side for the same purpose. God put Abraham and Lot side by side for the same purpose. God put Jacob and Esau side by side for for the same purpose. He put here David and Saul side by side, the stories of two men running side by side to compare and contrast their characters. God had enabled and encouraged both of these men alike. They were both sovereignly appointed. They were both sovereignly anointed of God for their job. God had empowered them, and God had enabled them. One rejected God, and God abased him. David received God, and God exalted him. We see the picture of one in spiritual decline, while we see the picture of the other in spiritual incline. God is raising one up and putting down the other. One life ends in tragedy, while the other life ends in triumph. And so that's their picture. The day when David came to the throne was not a good day. The priesthood had been defiled. The sons of Eli had corrupted the ministry of God, and the house of God and the ministry of God had been defiled. The power had departed. Ichabod had been wrote over the doors of the house of God. The glory of God had departed. Amen. Sounds like something like our day. The people were discontented. There was dissatisfaction in the land. And they wanted a king to rule over them that would be like the other kings of the other nations. And then the palace was disobedient. Saul had lived a life of disobedience, and God's greatly displeased with Saul and even the remnant of the house of God. Amen. And so it's not a good day. Revival seems to be impossible. It looks like things can't be changed. But oh, may I say, when man's back's against the wall, thank God that's when God has the power to do His greatest work. God's light often shines the brightest when the land is the darkest. Amen. Amen. Thank God that gives me a hope in my heart that there's still help for the people of God. Amen. That God can send revival out of ruin, and He can bring help out of confusion and out of chaos. Amen. Amen. Well, what was God looking for when He said, I saw a man after mine own heart? Let me just give you these three things quickly, and then I'll come to what I really want to say. He was looking for somebody to ease a burden. Amen. Saul has a bad spirit from God, and God's looking for somebody that can ease the burden in a generation that's filled with a bad spirit. Amen. It sounds like our generation. Our generation is confused and carnal and corrupted. Amen. And God was looking for a man to comfort a comfortless place. Amen. And people, well, would that be me? Would that be you? Could God say, I can find in him a man that would ease a burden? God was looking for a man that would engage in a battle. Amen. Amen. That would engage in a battle. That were the war, the Philistines were overcoming the people of God. Goliath had raised his head, and everybody was afraid of him. Amen. God was looking for a man, thank God, that would engage in a battle. Let me slow down just a minute here. God wasn't looking for a sissy. God wasn't looking for a fellow that wears short shorts and grooms his hair like a girl and wears an earring. Amen. And amen. God was looking for a man. Amen. God was looking, many men
in our generation. We've got a generation, a bunch of sissies. They look like sissies, talk like sissies, hold their hand like sissies. Amen. God, somebody said, which I don't know which ear it is, you got an earring in makes you queer, but you're just 6 inches from being a queer, whichever ear it's in.
Amen.
I'm telling you, God is looking for a man. He raised a generation of sissies. Amen. Amen. That ain't what I want to say, but God help us that we raise boys to be boys.
Come on.
And we
Amen.
raise girls to be girls.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen. Amen. God was looking for a militant man. A man that would engage in a battle for the glory of God.
Yeah. Amen.
God's wanting a militant man. Now may I say this, militant men are hated today. If you're militant, you're going to be hated. They're going to call you hateful and mean-spirited. Amen. And that's all right. I'd rather have Trump in the White House, though he is like a bull in a china shop. I'd rather have him there as any of the rest of that crowd. Amen. I like men, praise God. Let me just stop a minute to say that. I like men. When a man preaches, I want to see a man.
God, amen.
I want to be a man in my looks and in my actions.
Amen.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Amen. Somebody give me a witness out there.
Amen.
If a woman all over her husband, that's a win. If I had a wife that could whoop me, I'd go throwing up somewhere with a gym and I'd lift some weights and amen, I'd punch some bags and at least learn to have a hit in the head with a dope ball anyway.
Amen.
Amen. Why any man or any woman would want to win. By the way, if you're married to a bossy woman, knock her teeth out. Amen. That's on camera, ain't it? Ed Blue said, I tell you how you can tell whether you got a wimp or a man for a husband. He said, when you get in the car today, slap his jaws as hard as you can slap it. He said, if he sits there and whines and whimpers, you got a wimp. Yep. He said, if he opens the door and knocks you out in the parking lot, you got a man. Well, hallelujah. Let's move on. I think that wasn't too bad. Easy. God looked for a man to ease a burden. Then God looked for a man to engage in a battle. Then God looked for a man, thank God, to enter the breach. Amen. To get between God and the devil and say, amen. If you get my home and you get my church, you're going to have to go through me. Amen. God's looking for a man.
Amen.
Amen. Bless you, Lord. Amen. Amen. Well, we talked about David's life here. We talked about David's unmerited rise. How God brought him up from nowhere. From a boy of nowhere, God brought him up. I want to talk a minute today, try to get through these truths if God would help us kind of shorten it up. I want to look at David's unsettling reversal. David's unsettling reversal. His life was reversed. David, all of a sudden the circumstances of your life many times are going to reverse. You're going to suffer many reversals in life. Keith, I think about what happened to you and Miss Bobby some years ago and what you went through with the cancer and all of that. And the life's going to be filled with reversals. David is a nobody up yonder in the mountains watching a little handful of sheep. And then one day his life reverses. Amen. He's brought them there on a simple errand from his father. Amen. To go down there and take Jesus and that little mess of food to his brethren and find out how to do it and take a pledge and come back. He gets down there and he sees sees Goliath, just a boy, probably 16, 17-year-old, just a boy. And he gets down there, and he sees Goliath, and his brothers, he said, who is this? And they said, why, he's been coming out here 40 days. He's defying the armies of God. And he's making this statement. He's about 9 foot 9 inches tall. He's got a coat of mail on that weighs about 200 pounds, and his spear weighs 32 pounds. And amen, a formidable man, and a fearful sight, a giant of a man, amen, standing up there, defying the armies of the living God, enormous size and excessive strength, amen. And David makes this statement. David says this simple statement. Eli says to him, he says, well, I know the naughtiness of your heart. You ain't got nothing good down in there. You come out here just wanting to see the battle. And David said this a simple statement. He said, is there not a cause? May I just a moment magnify that to you just a little bit this morning. I started 41 years ago. I was started preaching and announced my call to preach in February of 1979. Ordained, actually, started pastoring in November of 1979. Ordained in February of 1980. Been preaching 41 years, over 41 years. May I say the cause was great back then, but there's no comparison to what the cause is today. The cause, friend, has multiplied itself over and over and over again. Back then, all you had to deal with a little bit was a little bit of marriage problems and maybe a little bit of teenage problems. But friend, today we're dealing with full-blown homosexuality. We're dealing with full-blown perversion. We're dealing with full-blown divorce. We're dealing with full-blown rebellion. We're dealing with liberalism in the church house and in the White House. The old men today are spending their time trying to tear the Bible apart than they are building up people with the Bible.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, may I cry out this morning, the words of David, is there not a cause? Amen. Is there not a cause? Amen. I want to get through this and I feel like God put a little nudge in my heart. Say a word about that this morning. And I wrote a few things down here. Is there not a cause to stand? Amen. Yes, amen. Is there not a cause to stand?
Amen.
Amen. Hey, mother and daddy and father and husband. Is there not a cause in this generation? Hey, grandma and grandpa. Is there not a cause? Are you listening to me? Hey, preacher man. Is there not a cause today? Amen. To stand, thank God, and take your stand for the glory of God. Hey, church members, is there not a cause? Amen. I believe there is, don't you? I believe there is.
Amen.
Is there not a cause as an employer and an employee? Is there not a cause in the job, in the community, and on the vacation? Is there not a cause in our schools, our workplace, and our government to take a stand? Anybody listen?
Amen.
Is there not a cause, friend, to be holy and separated and dedicated and motivated? Is there not a cause to be militant and fearless and engaged in the battle? Amen. Is there not a cause to be filled with the Holy Ghost of God and to be a student of the Word of God? Is there not a cause to be faithful to the house of God and support the work of God? Is there not a cause to love the one who loved us first and live for the one who died for us and serve the one who saved us? Is there not a cause?
Amen.
Is there not a cause, thank God, to stand up and speak up and look up and give ourselves to the Lordship of Jesus Christ. Is there not a cause to go forward and be faithful and stay fervent and let the fire of God, thank God, keep burning in our hearts? Amen. I'm not going to sit down and I'm not going to shut up. Amen. Until, thank God, our Lord takes me up. Amen. There's a cause, friend.
Amen.
Amen. The cause is the safety of our family. Amen. I'm going to fight for the future of our families. Amen. Let that bunch of liberals, that bunch of unbathed, hippie-looking, godless, amen, bunch of reprobates, let them go ahead and march in the streets. They're not going to silence my voice.
Amen.
I'm still going to let my voice be heard. I'm still going to give way to my faith in the God of the Bible. Amen. I'm still going to stand up and speak up and look up and I go up.
Amen.
I read this week about another church that's fighting right now over liberalism. 42-year deacon in there is fighting the church, wanting to go with the modern agenda, wanting to go with the homosexuals. And amen, that's far beyond what I'm going to preach here. And women preachers, and said, we've got to come up to the modern times. Let me tell you something, God's modern. I know that. He's not just in today, He's already as modern as been in tomorrow. Amen. Amen. Let me just narrow down a little bit while I'm here this morning. I might not get to what I was wanting to say. Bless God, if you want it around here, you're not just going to vote me out, you're going to have to go through me.
Amen.
You say that's me, you call it what you want to.
Yes,
You have
sir.
to go through me. Amen. We ain't having no jumpity jump, half dressed, quartet up there saying
Yes, amen.
we're keeping the old-fashioned Holy Ghost conservative, Bible-believing, Bible-preaching, Holy Ghost filled.
Yes, amen.
Streamline, God saved, loved one, Spirit-filled church. Amen.
Yes, sir. Amen.
You got a bad spirit, I can get worse too if you want to.
Bless him, Lord. Amen.
Took me 41 years to get this way, I ain't giving it up easy. Amen. You want to send your teenagers and your young people to Gatlinburg on Sunday and up down in Sunrise, to run up and down the river and paddle a boat up and down the river while the church is down there trying to worship God and take them somewhere else. It ain't going to happen here. Amen. Amen. It's after hours I'm sitting right there, maybe just kind of I'm nailing her down and getting her tied again. Bless God, we're an old-fashioned, fundamental, independent Baptist church.
Amen. Yes, sir.
I said amen.
Hallelujah.
Preach it, brother.
Amen.
I got in full of smoke out in my eyes. I got in when the fire was burning.
That's right.
Amen, Brother Dave. I got in, bless God, before this stuff started.
Amen.
This guy talks about you don't know nothing about Christianity. I'll tell you what I know. I know the one thing God that made me on my knees one night and saved my soul. And put a fire burning inside of me. And tried to get extinguished. The world's trying to extinguish it. The devil's trying to extinguish it. Even I'm trying to extinguish it. But it's not every bit of it. It still burns.
Amen.
It still burns. It still burns.
Yes, sir. Amen. Amen.
I'm going to say this, listen at me closely. Real saved people's got true faith in God. I don't care what they do, they can't stop it. They can't stop you from believing what God's put down in your heart. You know, thank God, that old book, thank God, that old book stood the test. Heaven and earth will pass away. Amen. But not one jot, nor one tittle will any life pass from that old book. Amen. Thank God. The ground, all flesh is as grass, and the flower thereof. But the words, amen, the words of our God shall endure. Hallelujah.
Yeah, amen.
No, maybe tomorrow, no, but forever, thank God. Forever, oh Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. Amen. The cause is the security of the family. The cause, is the safety of the family and the security of the faith. The cause is the strongholds.
Hallelujah.
Our foes are trying to take over. Trying to get foot in. Amen. I ain't gonna get deep. Don't look like deep. They're trying to get foot in. Trying to get in churches.
Come on.
Amen. The third. Amen. Help me, God.
Bless you.
Don't come out very strong. First whisper I start hearing in this church about changing from the old fundamental way to that new concept.
Come on, preacher.
Some of you gonna get on the bad side of me.
That's right. Amen.
That's all right, brother.
You say, I don't like that kind of pastor. You probably don't like a pastor, period.
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
I said, we'll put it up to vote. I want to tell you, I got a vote. I got a voice, thank God. And one that's got a vote too.
Amen.
Preach it, brother.
I got a voice that's got a vote. Amen. Now listen along for everything.
Bless you, boy.
So you're already maintaining an ounce of innocently right now.
Amen. That's
The
right.
Holy Ghost got God.
Yes, sir. Amen.
So David goes from a nothing and a nobody. He's got one goal in mind. He said they defied the armies of the God of Israel. He said they dishonored God. David was not interested in his own glory nor his own honor. He was interested in getting the glory of God back in Israel.
Amen.
Now, hallelujah. Hallelujah. See if I can set it down here now.
Bless you, God.
Hey, man, I eat a ham biscuit for breakfast. That's what the problem is. Amen. Well, David goes from a nothing. I'm talking about the reversals, those reversals that come in your life. David goes from a nothing and a nobody to all of a sudden he's embraced. The Bible said Saul loves him when he fights Goliath. The Bible said that Jonathan loved him as he loved his own soul. The Bible said that all Israel loved him. And even Saul's daughter fell in love with David. Amen. He's now got the attention and the admiration of all Israel. Chapter 18, verse 5 says he's accepted in the sight of all the people and also the sight of Saul. Amen. He went from a nothing and a nobody, and now he's the height of the high. Why it's so good.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Stay with me. I'm going somewhere to hope you get to the end of it. I just got to say this. It's not really my message, but I just got to say it. David lost that morning before the battle. He lost his brothers. They got mad at him. Because he was a militant-minded guy. He said, I'll go fight him. He lost his brothers. But before sunset that night, he gained a friend that stood closer than a brother in Jonathan. I'm glad, thank God, when you lose a brother fighting militantly for God, there is a friend. Thank God that'll stick closer than a brother to you. Amen. He lost one family, but he gained another family.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Blessing, Lord.
Jonathan stripped himself, and Jonathan strengthened David. David is embraced. David is exalted. I'm going to take time to show it to you, but I don't take the time. The Bible said Saul set him over the men of war. David is now third rank in the kingdom, probably fourth maybe. Saul's first, Jonathan's second, Abner's third. David's the fourth man in the kingdom, very possibly the third man. God might have put him on, Saul might have put him over Abner. But here he is. Stay with me now. I'm going somewhere with all this. David's embraced. David's exalted. David's esteemed. They're literally singing songs about him. He's now a national hero. Are you with me?
Amen.
They're singing songs about him. Saul slain his thousands. But David has slain his 10,000. Here's a farm boy, if you please, that's went from a nothing and a nobody. His situation's reversed. Now he's big and he's everything. Oh, listen. His life's about to be reversed again. He's about to be brought down back to a very real world.
Blessed, Lord. Amen.
The chapter 17 experience of David's life is him being exalted and promoted. The chapter 18 experience of his life is God bringing him back down to reality. The battle that David fights in chapter 17 is easier than the battle he fights in chapter 18. Stay with me.
Blessed, Lord.
In chapter 17, he's a soldier fighting a giant. In chapter 18, he's a saint fighting himself.
Blessed, Lord.
It is easier sometimes to overcome the world
Blessed, Lord.
than it is to overcome your own self.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen.
He's fighting his own feelings in chapter 18. You'd think that after Saul has been so humiliated for so long that he would love David. But the aftermath of him killing Goliath brought that mean streak out in Saul. And so we see David's rise, and we see David's unsettling reversal. The reversal is not his fault. The problem, listen to me closely, it's going to settle down here a minute now. The problem with success in your life is new success brings new difficulties. Amen. Saul was once his friend till David stole the show. Now Saul becomes his foe. His life is, listen to this closely, David's life is in worse shape now that he's won the victory over Goliath than it was in before he ever fought. Amen. Just because you fight for God and win does not mean, praise God, that everybody's going to like you. Amen. I'm trying to jump here. Listen, his work for God proved his undoing. The very one he's been loyal to now seeks to consume his life and kill him. And a demon like jealousy. David, anybody who suffered life's reversals knows how it causes you to suffer mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Amen.
How, you know what I'm talking about? When a friend becomes a foe, and a family member becomes an enemy, and a healthy body becomes disease, and a good job's lost, and death enters through the door and takes a loved one, and sickness takes away everything you worked your life for, and your life goes through a reversal.
Amen.
What was isn't anymore. Yesterday's pleasure turns to today's pain.
Bless you.
A reversal comes. You go through the chapter 17 experience. Everybody's singing you praises. Your life's good. But overnight, the praises stop. Joy ceases. And that which was plenitude yesterday is pain today. There's the unmerited rise of David. There's the unsettling reversals of David. Don't you listen to this? Oh, God's made this so big to me.
Yes, bless you, Lord.
There is the uncommon response. Now, when Saul's life was reversed, he became a madman. He spent his life fighting against David. Envy and jealousy marked his life. The very people Saul wanted to kill David, the Philistines ended up killing Saul. Better watch how you do your life, you'll reap what you sow.
Amen.
Saul, not a madman, he became a murderous man. Samuel was afraid he'd kill him. You read it in chapter number 16. He tried to kill David time and time again. He tried to kill Jonathan, he wrote a spear at his own son. He did kill Abimelech, and the 85 priests stepped back David up and took care of him. That's Saul's response. Now listen to me to one right now. David's uncommon response. Notice David's response. I want you to look at it. 1 Samuel 18. I want you to look at David's uncommon response. Please bear with me. Chapter 18, verse 5. David went out whithersoever Saul sent him. Notice his uncommon response. And David behaved himself wisely. Look at verse 14. And David behaved himself wisely in all his ways. Look at verse 15. Wherefore, when Saul saw that he behaved himself very wisely, he was afraid of him. Look at chapter 18, verse 30. Then the princes of the Philistines went forth. It came to pass, after they went forth, that David behaved himself more wisely than all the servants of Saul. David's response to that reversal is simply this. He behaved himself wisely.
Amen.
I hope you don't miss that truth. I hope you don't miss that truth.
Bless you, Lord.
Amen.
There was a situation earlier this week that a man, things had gone very wrong for him. And he said, I felt burdened to call you and talk to you, man. And he said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to call them, and I'm going to give them a piece of my mind, and I am going to tell them the truth, and I'm going to lay them out. I said, sir, I'm preaching this weekend on David and how he behaved himself wisely. Let me ask you a question. Do you think what you're about to do is behaving yourself wisely?
Yes, bless you, Lord.
Yeah.
That's right.
Amen. This word wisely, it means to consider and ponder. David thought about it. It means to be prudent, to be circumspect, to look at a thing with insight, to give attention to a thing.
Bless you, Lord.
David decided this: I'm not going to behave in a common manner.
Right.
I'm not going to respond in my flesh.
Amen.
I'm not going to retaliate and take my part.
Yeah, amen.
Amen.
He said, I'm going to respond in an uncommon manner. To behave right when others are behaving wrong. To react properly when others are reacting improperly.
Amen.
God is trying to mature David through Saul. God's letting, amen.
Amen.
God's letting Saul's meanness prepare David for the throne. You know how God gets you in leadership qualities? He has to put you under pressure to teach you how to behave wisely, that He may use you in a position of responsibility.
Amen. Amen.
I read this. A book F.B. Meyer wrote. Would you allow me to read it to you slowly? F.B. Meyer said this. He said, to bear with unfailing meekness the spiteful attacks of malice and envy, not to be overcome by evil, but to overcome evil with good, to suffer wrong, to possess one's soul in patience, to keep the mouth with a bridle when the wicked is before him, to pass unruffled and composed through a vast cyclone of unkindness and misrepresentation. He said this is only possible to those whose breast the dove-like spirit has found an abiding place. Amen. And whose hearts are sentineled by the peace of God. And these are they who bear themselves as heroes in the fight. Those who are gentlest under provocation are strongest in the fight. And that meekness is really an attribute of might.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Amen.
I wish I'd wrote that. If I'd have wrote it and said it, you wouldn't have got nothing out of it. But I'll say somebody else said it, didn't mean wrong. I like that statement. He said, those who are gentlest under provocation are strongest in the fight. In other words, if you can learn how to discipline yourself to fight yourself, you'll have no problem disciplining yourself when the world attacks you.
Yeah, amen.
You got that right, brother.
Yeah.
Hey,
Amen.
I don't have to live with you, thank God. I do have the right, if I get mad at you, if I can just keep my tongue closed and my mouth shut. Don't look at me like that. I won't talk to your face. I'll do it to Dorothy when I get to the house. Don't you look at me like a hypocrite. You do the same thing. Tell me you don't. God knows I'm not a gossiper. If anybody knows me, knows I'm not a gossiper. Anybody that knows me knows that. I do talk to my wife. And if she ever tells it, I'll commit murder and swear that the dog's killed. She knows I'm kidding you. Look. David's uncommon response. He behaved himself wisely. Listen to these statements here a minute. Number one, he behaved wisely when he's exalted with a deserved position. Look at chapter number 16 through 20. You'll find 16. Saul makes him his arm bearer. Chapter 17, he goes back and takes care of the sheep. Chapter 18, verse 5, we just read it. Chapter 18, verse 5, he's behaving himself wisely. When? When he's just received an exalted position. A lot of people God can't exalt.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they'll respond wrong.
Amen.
Amen.
When he's brought from a nothing to nobody to Saul Jezebel sat by us and said that. His name is known throughout the whole land. And all of a sudden he's exalted. He's the top dude in the land. He's really in the hearts of the people bigger than Saul. But you know what he does? Behaves himself wisely.
Amen.
He don't let his position go to his head.
Amen, brother.
Amen, yeah.
Not only does he behave himself wisely in chapter 18, verse 8, after being exalted with a deserved promotion, but he behaves himself wisely in chapter 18, verse 10 on through verse 16, when encountering difficult people. Y'all listening?
Amen.
He behaved wisely when exalted with a deserved promotion. But he behaved himself wisely when encountering difficult people. Saul was no heyday. Are y'all listening to me?
Amen.
Dealing with Saul was not easy. You ever dealt with difficult people?
Yeah, amen.
Have you ever dealt with difficult
Yes,
people?
bless you.
May I ask you the third time, have you ever dealt with difficult people?
Amen.
I have. I'm so glad I don't have to work a job in the world right now. It'd be hard to fight with somebody all day and have to go preach somewhere all night. People just difficult to deal with today. I mean, there's just some jerks out there. Edit that from that camera, will you? There's just some people's hard, difficult to deal with.
Amen.
I remember dealing with one on the job once. We sold him a lawnmower. And my manager business like Lowe's. We sold him a snapper lawnmower. And told him, went through all the details of what to do. Run it wide open. Don't run it half throttle. When you run it half throttle, it discharges the battery. Run it wide open, it keeps the battery charged. He takes it home, mows half throttle. Next time he gets on trying to start it, the battery's dead. He called and said, "You sold me a piece of junk." He said, "The battery's dead." I said, "You run it full throttle like I told you to?" No, that hurts the motor. It's running it too hard. I said, "Sir, run it full throttle." He mowed. Next time, run it half throttle. He called and said, "My mower's dead. Why don't you come get it? You're a deadbeat. You sold me a piece of junk." Now it's back on before I learned how to control it. That's been 32 years ago. That went on all summer. He'd call me, actually cuss me out, literally cuss me out. I'm sitting at my desk one day, my day he went to this. He called, he cussed me. He told me, he said, "You come get this piece of junk." I said, "Sir, I told you all summer." And every time I spoke, it was like something was sending two cables, one on each ear, and fire is running through them. He starts again. I said, "Would you please shut that stupid mouth of yours?" You say, "You ought not." No, I shouldn't have. It felt good at the time. And he said, "I'm going to call my attorney." That's exactly what he said. Not attorney. "I'm going to call my attorney, and I'm suing you and your business, and I'm taking everything y'all got for selling me a lemon lawnmower." I said, "Sir, you and your lawnmower can take a dying leak right in the middle of a lake of fire for all I care." I did. And I said, "If you ever call me again, you're going to need an attorney." I didn't behave too wisely. It felt real good. And by the way, he never did call back, and I never did hear from his attorney. Sometimes David's dealing with Saul. Saul's throwing spears at him. Saul's hired people to kill him. Saul's even told him to give him one of his daughters and turn around and give him the other one.
That's right.
And that'd be difficult to deal with. Do you know how David behaved?
Amen.
When you're dealing with contemptuous in-laws, that didn't go well.
Bless you, Lord.
Regardless of which side people on the job that's just difficult to deal with. Awful easy to act wisely in the church house.
Bless
Yeah.
it.
Amen.
Bless it, Lord.
I don't know who said it, but somebody said every human being wears an unseen, invisible sign on their forehead that says, "Make me feel important."
Yeah, that's true.
Bless it, Lord.
That's it, yeah.
All of a sudden, the man that's been praised to the high is now demoted. Saul takes him away from being his arm bearer. And all his soldiers now try to get everybody to kill him. Life's reversed again. He was a nothing and a nobody, and his life reversed and becomes something and somebody. His life's reversed. He's a nothing and nobody again, fleeing from Saul out yonder in the deserts. And old Saul, Bible said, hunting him like a partridge in a mountain, or a flea, a dog scratching for a flea. What the Bible said.
Bless it, Lord.
When you experienced dreadful problems, y'all behave right. I wish I could tell you I always have. But I ain't. God knows I tried, though, Buster. God knows I tried. I didn't used to like I do today. The further I get down the road, the more I'm trying to behave wisely. Y'all listen?
Amen.
I mean, it's easy to get tore up, ain't it? Don't sit there and look at me like you're better.
You're right, preacher. Amen.
Bless it, Lord.
If somebody gets the promotion you thought you were supposed to get. Let's put this power line into this building. Comes from that pole out in the corner, dug under the ground here, and comes into the building back here. I was 6 weeks trying to get that piece of cable and the telephone cable to put in while I was putting in the power cable. 6 weeks trying to get it. I called the company, I fought with them, I'm telling you, it was awful. I still remember, I don't ever go through that again. I don't ever go through another building problem. Somebody said Noah got drunk because he'd been in the 100-year building problem. I'd make it get drunk. Finally, I went down, they told me to go down to Abingdon. I went down there and they said, you're going to have to call Charlotte. So I called Charlotte. This black woman, I tell you she's black, and this way she talked. I began to talk to her, and I told her what I wanted. I said, ma'am, I've been 6 weeks trying to get this thing. And she said, let me put you on hold. I said, ma'am, I have been on hold for 6 weeks. And today I've been on hold for over an hour. Don't put me on hold. She said, you hold it, son. You don't get smart with me. I'll come over there and get you. I said, put me on hold. She messed around and she said, now I got you that cable. You go down to so-and-so place in Abingdon and tell them I sent you. The door be locked. You pound on the door till somebody comes to the door. And tell them what you're here for and who sent you. I said, thank you, ma'am. I said, I'm sorry I got short with you. She said, I about got short with you too. You about made me mad. I said, well, I hate you make her. I'm just saying this. David had an unsettling reversal. But he had an uncommon response. I want to close with this. Not only did he have an uncommon response, David had an unmistakable resource. What's his resource? Look at chapter number, let me get it right here, I'm picking some of this. Chapter 16, verse 13. Look at his unmistakable resource. How could David react wisely to a very adverse situation? Chapter number 16, verse 13, look at it. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him, that's David, in the midst of his brethren. The Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. Look at verse 18.
Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I've seen a son of Jesse the Bethlehemite, that's cunning and plain, and a mighty valiant man, a man of war, prudent in matters, and comely person. Notice his unmistakable resource. And the Lord is with him.
Yes.
Look at chapter 18. It is stated that he behaved himself wisely after dealing with problems and bad people and trying to be killed and that reversal. Look at verse 12. Saul was afraid of David. Notice his unmistakable resource. Because the Lord was with him. Look at verse 14, his unmistakable resource. David behaved himself wisely in all his ways. And the Lord was with him.
Yes.
Look at verse 28. And Saul saw and knew that the Lord was with David. Hallelujah.
Amen.
The reason you can have an uncommon response to an adverse situation when life reverses the situations of your life is because we have an unmistakable resource.
Amen.
The Lord is with us. Listen closely. If we do anything right or wisely, it will necessitate that the Lord is with us. Now, I understand this to be right. The Lord's with me all the time. He never leaves me nor forsakes me. Sometimes I allow me to take the reins of my life instead of Him.
Yes, sir. Amen.
And what comes out is not wisdom. What comes out is foolishness.
Amen.
It's not a good thing when you've acted unwisely, have to face yourself that day or that evening or that night. You ever been there? You told somebody off. One of the main reasons, listen to me very closely, and I'm closing, I can say a lot more about it. One of the main reasons that it's so important that David behaved himself wisely, because the servants of another king, Saul, was watching him. The people of this world are watching you.
Amen. Yes, sir.
They're going to even testify to what Saul testified. He knew